Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got another great one for you. We have a lot to go over, and I'm going to try to make it as tight and condensed as possible. And while we're doing that, and I run the headlines, why don't you take a look at this price? Because if that ain't a headline, I don't know what is. $1.67. It's been as high as $1.72 this morning, just moments ago. And we're going to continue to watch it all day. But listen to this. India has an opportunity to become a crypto superpower. We're going to get into it with 1.3 billion in population. China inches ever so closely to launching world's first CBDC, central bank digital currency. And Ripple is gaining ground. When it comes to the amended complaint, they are moving forward with the motion to dismiss for their case against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen. We'll go over that recent news. And where is Gary Gensler? I keep asking this. And is his confirmation delayed because of Ripple versus SEC? Let's get into the details here. Roll that beautiful intro. Oh, by the way, all new all-time highs are on the way. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen, and everything we're talking about here. We're close to crossing 50,000 followers on Twitter. Please hit that like and subscribe. We're very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We won't let you down. Now, here we are looking at the market cap for crypto. This is another area where you're not going to get let down. $2.1 trillion crypto market cap. What a staggering number, and believe me, it is grabbing the rest of the world by the shirt at this point. Bitcoin right now at 62,008 plus, and we're going to go ahead and move down quickly to the number 4 spot. It is $1.68 currently right now. We are up at $1.68 at 71.51% on the 7-day. That is a remarkable number, knowing that we have the SEC case hanging over top of our heads. And watch out, Binance Coin. We might be right back at that number 3 spot for too long here. All right, looking at the range on the price really quickly here, $1.34 to $1.72. We're sitting at 168. We'll keep an eye on it. It's been very consistent today and showing a lot of strength. Right now, I want to remind everybody, if you haven't seen the first video I did today, really go check that out. We dive down into the numbers a little bit more than I'm going to today. But just as a reminder, Dark Defender and many other technical analysts, the experts that look at the charts, are telling us all the same thing. $2 plus. Dark Defender here is calling for the next target at $2.72. I do want to remind you that all the previous targets that Dark Defender has called have been spot on, as well as the other technical analysts we have used on this show. Okay, moving right here. This is from Gold Telegraph, and Gold Telegraph has some really, really great posts, and shout out to you, Gold Telegraph, and all the people who send information in. XRP Crypto Wolf, Michael Val 5 Links, Bond Crypt, Crypto Dem, Jesus Crypto, and gosh, I know I'm missing a few of you, but I thank each and every one of you. And I just want to show everybody here that we talk about this all the time. China has added 6 more regions to its pilot program for the sovereign digital yuan, expanding the scope of testing as the country inches ever so closely to launching the world's first central bank digital currency. I got to tell you, this here is a real catalyst for the rest of the world to launch their CBDCs. And believe me, I have to say, I believe they are much further along than they actually let on publicly. And I think that's the right approach. You never come out and tell everybody exactly where things are. I think you want to have that element of being able to move quickly when you need to. And I do believe we will see some of the major countries move very quickly to launch a CBDC as China gets ever so closely to launching theirs. All right, looking here, this is a real article right here from DJ Peter Vass. India has the potential to become a global cryptocurrency superpower. Don't believe it, but it's still true. And we know that they have been back and forth like a bad tennis match about whether to ban crypto or to allow it and this, that, and the other. And I just want to point out here that I think they get all the legislation worked out before this is over, and that's a part of the process, obviously. But it says here, with skilled labor and inexpensive internet, with a population of 1.3 billion, India has very skilled workforce who are pretty adept to the latest global economic trends. Moreover, the country also has one of the cheapest data rates globally, with 1 gigabyte costing a mere 26 cents. Such factors will surely enable extensive scale adoption of cryptocurrencies if released. Moreover, the country already has experience in such massive economic operations visible from its Unified Payments Interface, UPI. This is a one-of-a-kind project, was a resounding success. Aadhaar is another monumental project that provides a fast, reliable, and secure way of transactions when linked up with UPI. Cryptocurrencies can be integrated with Aadhaar and reap the same benefits, albeit transactions are a lot slower to process due to its inherent blockchain-based design. However, once introduced, it is sure to be one of the most significant crypto undertakings in the world. Whoa! Much work still needs to be done in this sector, but India must realize that the time to act is now. India needs to ensure that it is not left behind, especially on current economic, fintech, and technological fronts. And that is really a powerful, powerful article. India is either the most remittance nation in the world or one in the top 3, one or the other. Okay, hashtag relist XRP. And I want to imagine right now, what your XRP would be worth if we had all XRP on all the exchanges previously to where before we saw all of the delisting and halting of trading. And I just want to say that if we just take a number, and I'm going to take an arbitrary number, like if you had invested $10,000 at the time when XRP was 0.28 cents, let's call it 28 cents, because it sat at 28 cents for a long time, you would have 35,714.28 and a whole bunch of numbers. You'd have over 35,000 XRP at 28 cents if you accumulated during the bear market. I have told people many times over that, true wealth is made during the bear market and during the dips. It's that accumulation when everything goes good and goes green and has the gains experienced. That is where wealth is made. I often make the analogy that it's like being a farmer, and the bear market is planting season, and then the green market or the bull market is actually harvest time. And I believe that's a great analogy. But now if we go ahead and just look at it now, and let's say at $1.70, let's just say, you would have 5,882 XRP at these prices if you had invested $10,000. Now, listen, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from, if you're new to this space and getting in, I personally believe XRP will be 4 and 5 digits, $1,000, $10,000 over time. And I really do believe it will hit those goals. None of this, by the way, is financial advice, but I do believe these things for myself. And I just wanted to show and congratulate all of you who have been in the space and have been able to accumulate during a bear market for yourselves. What an advantage you have today. And if you just got into the space, please don't be discouraged. Do your homework. Make sure it's something you believe in, and you will make your own decision about how much you invest. But what a difference that it makes. And remember, U.S. investors are on the sideline. We are on the sideline. Thank God for Uphold and BitTrue that you can trade into it from BitTrue and get XRP, and you could get it directly on Uphold. But I mean, largely we are restricted and handicapped from getting XRP in the manner that we used to. And now look at the price now. What would got you 35,000 XRP will now only get you 5,800 plus. And I think that is something to note, and I don't think it's an accident that we're on the sideline sitting on our hands while that is being priced out of a lot of people's reach. Looking here, the pre-IPO shares of Coinbase are currently listed on the FTX exchange and currently trading for $594 per share. I covered this on the morning video. But it's a huge piece of news. We got to make sure everybody's aware of it. We are one day away from the IPO of Coinbase. And I have to say, when thinking of that, you have to really come into like what Crypto Granny here, Susie Trader, shout out to her. She's amazing what she does. Follow her if you don't. And here she says, if Coinbase is worth $594 per share, what do you think Binance is worth? $1,225 per unit? It's a no-brainer to her. And it's a no-brainer to me. And that's why I keep telling everybody, reminding you about link2.com. If you haven't gone there, go there. Uphold is on here. And it's $6.75. What do you think that's going to be after this series sells out and you can't get any more of this? What do you think that's going to be? I'll tell you one thing. I see that the IPO for Coinbase is going to set the tone for this market. And then, of course, we know that we're going to see Ripple at some point. It's currently sold out here, but there'll be some more coming if you pay attention. We know that Kraken is actually going to IPO very soon as well as many other companies in the space. And it's extremely exciting. So make sure you check them all out. ThoughtSpot, AI company, that's an amazing company too. Impossible Foods. There's great products here, so make sure you check them out. And again, if you're not accredited and you don't meet the criteria to be an accredited investor, you can take the Exam FM, but you have to join Link2 and then contact them about the Exam FM, and you could take a digital practice test to become accredited. And it doesn't matter what the requirements are, because if you pass that test, you will be accredited. And that to me is remarkable, because you'll have your Series 65 license. And let me tell you something, you can take that test 1,000 million times if you need to pass it. So make sure you check that out as well. All right, now let's get into this. Garlinghouse have now filed with Chris Larsen twin motions to dismiss the SEC's lawsuit. In fact, the aforementioned motions to dismiss were also accompanied by separate arguments filed by the executive's respective counsel. Let's take a look. It says here the amended complaint fails to plausibly allege recklessness. The SEC fails to allege any sales were domestic. The SEC fails to allege any offers were domestic. The SEC claims for monetary relief are time barred. Now that the SEC has until the 14th of May. Arguments in opposition to Chris Larsen's motion to dismiss, the regulatory agency had charged Ripple Labs with the sale of unregistered securities offering back in December. However, it was an unprecedented move. It also charged the blockchain firm's executives with general counsels being, or consensus being that both parties will be unwilling to settle on the issue. The ruling in that said case is being awaited by many crypto in the community, which is us. While many believe that the ruling unfavorable to Ripple will have grave implications for the rest of the industry, a favorable decision is likely to spur more growth. In fact, the same was evident recently in the price hike of XRP, the crypto at the heart of the aforementioned lawsuit. So looking here is the lawsuit. If you guys want to take a look at it, you can Google the amended complaint, and I will put this link for you in the comment section so you have it. And let's keep moving here, because I want to remind everybody that not only are they gaining ground with Ripple and the motion to dismiss the individual cases against Brad and Chris, because they really haven't proven anything. And I don't think we're far from a settlement or some kind of summary judgment from the court, which would be very, very exciting. I do want to say, though, this is the kind of blowback that they could find themselves in with the SEC rather, because Tetragon, an original investor in one of the fundraising rounds for Ripple, tried to sue them after the SEC brought the case against them. They lost that lawsuit, and Tetragon will have to shell out $3.4 million in legal fees for jumping out of the gate too early. And you know what? Shame on them, and they should. And the SEC should pay every single dollar back to Ripple for everything they put them through and let this market run free and get this XRP back on all the exchanges it was on previously. Jeremy Hogan says here, Ripple's lawyers ran up $3.4 million in attorney fees defending the Tetragon case. Okay, well, I am charging way too little then. And to make it better or worse, depending on whose side you are on, Tetragon has to pay it. And man, am I glad that they do. And shout out to James K. Fillon, who also shares a lot of information on the court case as well. Very grateful to each one of those guys and so many others. All right, let's take a look here and keep it moving. Where's Gary Gensler confirmation? This gentleman here, we played it in the earlier video, but it's relevant because, we were supposed to see it yesterday. We didn't see it. Some are saying we're going to see it today. Some are saying we're going to see it over the next 2 weeks. Nicolesh here tells us, I think it's over the next couple weeks. So let's listen to him from CoinDesk.
That's coming up. Right before the Senate went on recess near the end of last month, they did begin the procedural moves that would see Gary Gensler be confirmed through the full Senate. So I think it's just, the Senate's been doing, they've been looking at various issues, and I guess SEC chair has been maybe not the foremost priority on that list, but they did file cloture right before the Senate went on recess, and they're coming back this week. So my guess is they might vote to confirm him to his role, hopefully in the next week or two.
There you have it. They go on to talk about ETFs and the whole list of ETFs for crypto that are looking to get approved, which take at least 200 days to do so. But here's what I want to talk about. Gary Gensler, shout out to him, was a professor at MIT, and he was even an Outstanding Teacher Award based upon student nominations for 2018-2019. At MIT. Congratulations to him. And I am excited to see him get confirmed. And I do believe he is going to want to look at this space in a very general way, that a lot of what these cryptocurrencies are to you and me are digital asset securities to Gary Gensler, according to his previous comments and thoughts from years before. And we will have to pay very close attention to whether that changes or not once he takes the helm at the SEC. Now, that fact that he worked at MIT 2018 to 2019 was during the same period that Ripple donated $50 million to the universities, including Princeton, MIT, and other places, to accelerate blockchain adoption. So you have to ask yourself, is he being delayed on his confirmation because Ripple did in fact donate $50 million to MIT, and there would be a conflict of interest if he was confirmed before this case is settled? Maybe it's not. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe this is a question for Jeremy Hogan. But I have to say, I do believe it's at least worth asking. And maybe he gets confirmed today, which would be phenomenal. I'd like to see him confirmed like a month ago. But the truth is, he hasn't been. So one has to start asking the questions why, especially when you understand that, the Dems have all the power there over in the government, I believe in the Senate and the House and the executive branch. So having a delay for Gary Gensler has to be about something else other than needing the votes, to me. So with that being said, you have to wonder if the money and his tenure at MIT had any conflict of interest to that happening. And will it impress a settlement on the courts based on the fact that the SEC, if this is all relevant to them, then it would be the SEC that would be really inclined to want to reach some kind of summary judgment and settlement, not only to, get rid of the embarrassment that they've caused themselves, but the reality is to get real leadership there. And in order to do that, it may be that we need this case between Ripple and the SEC to settle as soon as possible in order to get his confirmation done. I don't know, but I think it's worth asking. Shout out to Big Skinny on that. Him and I have been round and round on that, and he brought it up. And when he brought it up, sometimes things just have that ring of truth to them. Maddie Greenspan warns the SEC's latest actions could threaten future of all cryptocurrencies. Now, this is on a new case that has been brought forward by the SEC, and I want to propose this question to all of you. while we look at this great price action, let's think about what Gary Gensler is going to do when he gets here. Quantum Economics founder Matty Greenspan sounded alarm over the damage the SEC case causes from the and I'll call it LBRY, right? The LBRY could do to crypto. And if you go through this, I'm just going to read this first part to you. And it says, according to the complaint filed by the SEC on March 29th, LBRY is alleged to have offered and sold millions worth of unregistered securities. Does this sound familiar? Through LB credit tokens since 2016. The company has disputed the SEC's accusations as it states the tokens are utility focused and not for speculation. In today's newsletter, ominously titled, "Don't Let Them Kill Crypto," Greenspan asserts that if the SEC lawsuit against LBRY is successful, it will have dramatic consequences. Should the court decide or side against LBRY, it would literally put the future of all cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ether, in question. Now, there is no official ruling from the SEC on Bitcoin or Ethereum, so don't forget that little fun fact. But here's something I want to share with you right here. And what I want to share with you in this is, if in fact we are right about it being a conflict of interest with Gary Gensler and the SEC versus Ripple, and if in fact that is a conflict of interest, then maybe we do see some kind of summary judgment or settlement in this court case very soon to get him confirmed. And maybe LBRY's case, because it's so similar as it sounds to the Ripple versus SEC case, making the case of unregistered securities, maybe Ripple gets through the door and LBRY, ends up becoming the judgment and the case that actually sets precedent for the rest of the crypto market, because there wouldn't be any conflict of interest for Gary Gensler once he gets in, and he would have, at that point, if they win the judgment against LBRY, then they would have what they need legal precedent-wise, what they maybe fail to do for Ripple and XRP, but then for the rest of the space with the LBRY case. I don't know, but it does seem like the SEC's lining up another duck to shoot, because it feels like they realize they're not going to win this one against Ripple. But it looks to me they're picking LBRY to set precedent because they probably believe they understand they're going to lose the Ripple case. Just my 2 cents on that. And here I want to say to this is a great point to leave with, and it's why we're talking about it today. And shout out to XRP attorney Seal. People should start to really think about the type of impact Gary Gensler will have on the SEC versus Ripple case. If he brings clarity, it will be through a negotiated settlement, not a withdrawal. And that, in fact, is very true. So we are still waiting to see if he gets confirmed. It could be today. Again, Nicolesh from CoinDesk is saying it could be up to a week or 2 weeks from now. And who knows? And I would look, if this is, in fact, a conflict of interest, then I would expect to see a settlement with SEC and Ripple sooner rather than later. And maybe we should all start to politely tag the SEC and Stuart Alderati and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and ask them to take a look for themselves whether or not Gary Gensler would be in conflict to the case if he's confirmed before settlement. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you keep your head on a swivel. This is Crypto You Never Know. Let's take a look at that price one more time. It's $1.68 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We've been as high as $1.72. And all the analysts and experts in this space that look at charts are saying we're going $2 and beyond in the short term. Very exciting. I'll catch all of you in the next one. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. It's tax time. CryptoTaxAudit.com. Make sure you check it out. It's Clinton Donnelly. He has helped save over $40 million in crypto tax audits. I'll catch all of you on the next one.